Guys, 437 families nominated, 2,140 people fed, 187 volunteers, 164 drivers delivering bags, and we purchased $19,215 worth of gift cards yesterday.
And I mean, like,
We're going to be talking about some really fun stuff. I'm Jeremy Larkin, your host, with my co-host, Jesse Paul.
good morning, everybody.
We've got a great man in the studio this morning. I mean, besides us, right? Which is our good friend, Devin McDonald. Good morning, brother.
Good morning, Jeremy. Appreciate you.
This guy's amazing. We're going to talk. Listen, what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about feeding 450 families. We're going to talk about Chick-fil-A. We're going to talk about real estate, and we're going to talk about the giving machines.
Love it.
Is this a pretty good?
That's going to be a
pretty good.
Great show.
This is a pretty good. Guys. Before we get into the heart, that was not a pun, but it sounded punny. The heart of the matter. You see what I did there, guys? That's the heart of the matter. It's the holidays. Okay. All right. Anyway. So before we get into the heart of the matter, guys, we are a real estate and community show. Radio show. We've been doing this for 13 years. In February, it will be 13 years of going live every week. And there was a period where we went live twice a week because we used to be on in Cedar City. But if you don't know who we are, I'm Jeremy Larkin. We help people manage their wealth in real estate, period. And we kind of, we're in the home ownership business, whatever that looks like. And, Jesse and I've been on the air. How long have you been on, Jesse, with us?
At least 8 or 9 years.
Yeah,
Probably
it's been a very long time.
2016 or 2017.
Yeah, he's been here for a very
And it
long.
happened by accident, actually. I kind of just showed up to film it one day.
And I said, hey, hop on the air.
And he's talking to me from behind the camera. And I'm like, they can't hear me. He's like, get on over here. And I've been here ever since. I'm like the luggage. Once I get there, I never go away.
That's exactly right, man.
You can't get rid of me.
It's like the second marriage stuff anyway.
Yeah.
There's the baggage, the luggage, or the kids. Anyway, guys, we have a fun time, and we help people make the very best decision possible for their family in real estate. It might be buying, it might be selling, it might be moving, it might be staying put. So if you want to visit us, you can always find us at gostgeorge.com or Google the Larkin Group. Pretty simple, Larkin Group. We are broadcasting. Devin was just telling us this is a pretty cool place to broadcast from, isn't it?
It absolutely is.
Isn't it kind of look at this vibe behind this,
amazing.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, this is...
So we're at headquarters downtown St. George. Jesse and I were just chatting before we got on the air. We've got a dog in the studio. We often do. We had 2 dogs yesterday. The question is being asked, Jesse.
Yep.
Whether people are actually buying and selling real estate. What did we see yesterday? We went into the system.
Yeah, we went into the system because we
What did
said,
we
okay,
find?
what's actually going under contract? So we found that in the last 30 days, over 400 homes had gone under contract.
Over 400 homes. I put one under contract last night at 6 p.m. for my dear, sweet Mary. Mary, as Missy says, I like Devin. Mary's moving to South Utah County. She's going to move in with her kids. She's a little bit longer in the tooth, as they say. She's elderly gal, amazing woman, tons of energy, but this isn't working to be alone. And so we put her home under contract. Mm-hmm. And the reason I even tell you the detail is because the question gets asked, who's buying and selling?
Yeah.
Right?
And that really stems from people being afraid that it's a bad market, that nobody's buying.
Yeah. However, I will tell you something. Average age of a home buyer is significantly older right now than it's ever been. Average age of sellers is older than it's ever been. We have average age of a seller right now is over 60 years old. And the reason why is because a lot of the people with their mortgages kind of in their 30s and their 40s and maybe early 50s are saying, well, I don't want to lose my mortgage. And we have a lot of our downsizers.
Yeah, and a lot of it also is the people that would be buying a home right now are looking at that mortgage payment going, man, that's double what I'd pay for rent. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So we're in a weird time. Part of that other thing, though, is we're in a time where the baby boomer generation was so big, and they are the ones that are really having to move.
They're aging out of their homes.
Yeah, they're having to move right now, and that they're one of the biggest populations ever that have transitioned.
Yeah, the boomers, it's a big thing. The last thing I'll share, and then I want to get into the warm and fuzzy stuff this year, is when we look through, we organize the homes that have gone under contract in reverse descending order of value. And I saw a 4.5 million, 4 million, 3.9 million, 3.5 million, 2.9 million, 2.8 million. So guys, it's not as though, oh, well, I mean, no one can really afford homes.
No,
listen, the high end,
wide range.
I saw a video yesterday in Park City, median home price, single family home price in Park City just crested $4 million.
Wow.
And the gal that put this video out said, oh, the people with that kind of cash, they're making lifestyle purchases, which is they're purchasing homes it's just part of a lifestyle. It's not where they don't need to raise a family there. All right, Devin, let's get down to it, man. I want to chat with you.
Absolutely.
You ready?
Look forward to it.
So the first thing I want to say is, tell us what your day job is. Like what do you do for, because people know kind of they'll know all about your business.
I'm lucky enough to own and operate the Chick-fil-A's here in St. George. Started here in 2013. So it's been about 13 years as well. And we have come to love this community like no other.
Yeah. So you have the university store.
So that's
that separate?
That's a licensee.
Yeah. That's what it was. That's a licensee. So really you've got your two stores at
River Road and Bluff. And then I help the one up at SCU as well. So I'll consult up there.
So you've been doing this long. Do you have any, this is a silly question because there's no way you're going to be able to answer this. Do you have any idea how many sandwiches you guys have ever sold? Chick-fil-A sandwiches?
Well, I'll tell you this much. On the busier weekend, so last weekend, there was a 10-minute period where we fed about 500 people in just 10 minutes. And that's not just giving them all the same food. They're getting each a unique and individual order. And that's per store. So
500 people.
500 people.
That
so it's amazing.
Is that intense?
Of people.
That is intense. So here's what I love. I want to have, I want to talk about the flow of money for just a minute because I'm actually very capitalistic, but I'm very capitalistic in the old capitalistic way. I think one of the things that's happened right now in America and in the world is people now hate billionaires, right? Mm-hmm. Well, no billionaires and none inside here. But so they decided that since they hated billionaires, they hated capitalism, right? But what's fun is we talk about giving. My brother always said, those who have can. And one of the things that's interesting is when you look at a business like yours, how many people do you employ per store? Just for fun. I want to play a game.
We're about 130, 140 people per store, almost 300 total employees.
Almost 300 employees. And what's so fun is when you go, man, we fed 500 people in 10 minutes. There's this thought people could have. Man, they must just be hauling the money out in a truck. How many people do you have on staff at any? I have an idea because my son worked there for a couple of years. How many people are on staff at one time?
20 to 30. Yeah. Busy days up to 40.
You got 20 to 40 people on the clock. Mm-hmm. Lease space. Can't even imagine the utilities running all that equipment. The cost of the chicken. And the sauce and the cups and one of the things at Chick-fil-A is if it ain't right, they're going to make it right. Yeah. And it's their pleasure. And I think it's very interesting. I love to see. So what happens is when people gripe about Iron Man was like so frustrating for one day a year. I say, do you understand how money flows? And they'll say, well, that money didn't come to me. And you know what I say? Oh, yes, it did.
Or did it?
Oh, yes, it did. Because it's in circulation. And what I love about like a store like yours is you employ a lot of people. My son loved working there, Matt. Dude.
I love Matt. He
was a good, wasn't he?
Incredible young man.
He's on an LDS mission in Canada. And so I think this is kind of fascinating. And it brings me to, we're going to feed Saturday. We're going to deliver Thanksgiving to 452 homes. I think that was the number we capped it at. Maybe Taylor said it was fewer in this message. Okay. 437 families. Okay.
Yeah.
437. Well, does that money just poof? Because guys, we don't fund our program with food stamps because that's the big conversation right now, right? Is that the government was shut down and that's why so many people are in trouble. We don't fund that with made up funds.
No.
We fund feeding 437 families, delivering Thanksgiving to their home. Our volunteers will deliver with actual money.
Yeah.
That's in circulation. I had a donor give us $2 $2,000, one single donor.
Love it.
I funded a fair amount out of my own pocket. So what I did this year is out of every single transaction, I took a share. I funded, to be fair, 5 figures of the Basket Brigade personally. It was really easy because what I did is I just said at every closing, I need X to come out.
Yeah.
Right. Well, what's funny is you don't pay attention when it's like the automatic savings. So Devin's group, Chick-fil-A, they're donating 200 burritos. Wait, 200? Yeah. They were going to do 100 and then it increased. So 200 burritos. Devin, do those burritos, did the government just pay for those burritos so you can give them to us?
It's an easy write-off, but it's something we've loved partnering with you to do.
Right.
And by the way, thanks for doing that.
It's like a real product that you're giving away.
Yeah, and thanks for doing that, because that same
it.
morning, what people don't know is he's got quadrupled that amount that he's feeding as well.
In donations. Yeah.
We're
doing about 10 to 15 donations every day to help.
So thank you so much for that.
Absolutely. It's delightful.
Well, and here's what's fun with this. Okay. Look at our time. We have about 15 minutes today. What I'm painting a picture of for our community is, well, here's what's funny though. I was telling talking to my team about, we're doing our pie day. So this next week, we're going to do about 200 pies for our clients. I said, I'm buying the pies. Make sure you invite your people. And I said, wait a minute, you're buying the pies. And they looked at me. Well, my team sells real estate. And when they sell real estate, at the end of the transaction, because we sold a home for you, right? At the end of the transaction, there are proceeds. Money changes hands. And from the proceeds, 1 or 2 agents gets paid. The title company gets paid. The mortgage company gets paid. The guy who painted the house before they moved out gets paid. The final cleaning crew gets paid. The locksmith gets paid. Well, what's so fun, and here's where I'm going, but the people don't see this coming. The reality is you're not even funding it. You're funding it. But the funny part is the people who came in and they were the 500 sandwiches, they funded it. This is the flow of how we serve in our community, guys. When you go out and you go to Chick-fil-A and you're like, it's $13 for a value meal. Trust me, I've said that, Devin, but his prices are no different than nationally. Because remember when we were in high school and it was like $3 at Taco Bell?
Crazy.
And when you just crush Taco Bell for like $3. Yeah. We all do. It was right there on the corner. I went to that Taco Bell.
And now it's 12.
Where'd you grow up?
Seattle.
Yeah. So the flow of money is you go to Chick-fil-A, as we like to call it, and you buy a $13 meal. And that money trickles down. And on the day of the Basket Brigade, for instance, it buys the burritos that are donated. And this is how we give inside our community. I have no problem, Devin, with going to Africa and serving, but there's so many needs right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Tell us about, so we won't talk about chicken anymore, but isn't that kind of a fun thought?
It's absolutely true. I've delved into economics recently, and it's fun to read Sewell and others and learn from them and understand how economics enrich and build and create growth. And that's really kind of my mantra in life is like, how do I build? How do I create? How do I restore? How do I improve and make better?
Build, create, restore.
Any one of those things. And for me, that's really my motive in the business. And it's not really about business anymore. It's more about people in the business. And the business is a construct that we use to enhance and beautify and hopefully make people a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I absolutely love that. Yeah, kind of like I'll tell people, I say, well, you say we're in the real estate business, but we're in the people business. It happens to be real estate. We're working with people's lives. We go in people's closets. We're in their closet. Talk about personal. Your CPA doesn't go in your closet. We've talked about this on the show lately, right?
Absolutely.
But we do. Your plumber gets in your toilet. Anyway, talk about the giving machines. This is something you're involved in through the LDS Church.
Correct.
I love this. He actually has his tag on today. So you've been called, right? This is kind of like this is a service mission you're on. This is outside of how many kids you have?
It's an assignment. Yeah. So we have 4.
4 kids. 4 kids and a couple Chick-fil-A stores, and he has a world. But this is an assignment that's, that you give, right? Talk about what you do. Talk about the giving machines.
So my wife and I serve in a capacity on the St. George Communication Council. In that capacity, we work in business and community relations. And as one of our assignments, we're in charge of, or we've assisted, last year we were in charge of the giving machines, and we assist now in bringing those giving machines to St. George again this year. This year, we get them for 6 weeks. And what I love about the giving machines is 80% of the entities in the giving machines are local nonprofits. So,
this perfect segue.
And so it's the Dove Center, Switch Point, Washington County School District, Root for Kids, and then the food bank. But the food bank's keeping those items here locally.
This is fun. So our leftovers, there will always be some leftovers because we'll go to Smith's and we'll pick up all the food tomorrow.
Yeah.
Lynn's is where we take the gift cards. Smith's is where we purchase the groceries. I mean, we get guys, hundreds of bags of potatoes. It's 440 homes.
It's amazing.
There's always something miscounted. That goes at the food bank. We deliver to the Dove Center. So we don't go in. You can't, it's private. Here's what I love. I alluded to this. Guys, I think there are starving kids in Africa. I do. I also think there are hungry kids in St. George. I think there are people. I think there's a lot more. I think there are people in places like the Dove Center who have dealt with extreme abuse. Right?
The very best, Jeremy, and I agree. Jesse and I were talking about this, as we were opening today, to see that even in my own employees, so many disadvantaged that have needs. In our school district, we have over 8,000 kids that are quote unquote homeless. They're underprivileged, underserved.
Is that unbelievable?
And, so even with the school district to be able to support these teen centers that give a semblance of normalcy to the lives of these young people who don't have a place to bathe or shower in the morning, where they can do laundry, they can get food and clothing, and be just like their peers in their ability to move forward. And it's really not a handout. It's really a hand up as we help them, man. Understand that they have the capacity and the ability to achieve anything. And
8,000.
And I could talk about each of these charities, but it's incredible to see the impact. People come to machines.
I want to talk about something because we're going to nail our time. The number one nominator of families in our Basket Brigade are school counselors. School counselors.
It's incredible.
Because they know.
Yes,
they're like this family and this family and this family and this family. And you said something about being like their peers. My kids never dealt with food scarcity term, right? Yeah. I know yours likely did not either. I mean, gosh, even when we were young and broke, we love to throw those terms around. Oh, when your mom and I were broke, we were never.
It was
broke.
not the same.
Never broke. You never were like, I'm hungry. I can't. I don't have food.
Yeah.
Can you imagine you're a 10-year-old kid, and someone listening probably can. And you go to school and you're supposed to show up and act like everything's cool, but either you were functionally homeless or didn't have a place to shower because you're going jumping around here to here to there, or you have been hungry for a day. It's not cool. That's really sad, man. And so this is how we get this. Again, this is this flow of money, guys. Giving machines. Here's how you flow your money into a giving machine. Where do you find the machines and what do people do with them?
So they're at Red Cliff Mall. They'll be there through the 27th of December. They're open when the mall's open. So all day long, if you want to beat the lines, come in the mornings.
Go walk with the old folks. There's a bunch of old folks in the wintertime.
It's amazing.
That walk them all.
They're there every morning,
cool.
and they're consistent and regular.
Yeah,
that's great.
And just come and enjoy, learn more about these local nonprofits that we're seeking to serve, give back, and have impact. What I love, though, is seeing people that have been assisted by these entities. We had a young man come through last year, and he was striking, just a handsome young man, walked in, well-dressed. And as I talked to him about his story, he told me that he was indeed served by Switch Point when he had hit rock bottom. And now his life had turned around several years later. He was gainfully employed, doing very well in life, and he wanted to give back. And, there's probably 15 to 20 stories like that where people that have been served by these entities have come and given the machines. But the thing I would highlight, though, is just the generosity of our community. St. George is unique.
It is one of the most giving communities,
even over others in the States. So it's incredible for us.
Speaking of Ironman, I referenced Ironman. When I was involved with Ironman from 2010 when it came to town, every year. And I never ran it, never raced it, which is dumb in hindsight because I used to be into triathlon, but I was involved in an organizational level. Every single time they came to town, guys, this isn't like the artist on the stage who says, tonight's my favorite show. Behind closed doors in like our private meetings, they would say, I got news for you guys. Ironman is an international corporation. I mean, they'll often have 2 races in the same weekend, 3 races in the same, one here, one in Oceanside, one in Spain. They would say, no one volunteers, no one gives like they do in St. George. It's just, they were pretty heartbroken when the contract ended. And so there's something to be said. So when people go to the giving machine, they literally choose.
Correct.
They can read about what it is, choose, and then they can put a credit card in, right?
Correct. And 100% of those proceeds go to those entities. The church incurs all other costs. The 800 volunteers that help staff the machines are all volunteers.
Yeah, so the LDS Church furnishes the machine. The volunteers, you guys deal with it. All of the money goes to this.
100%.
So how much money did they raise last year? Do you have any idea?
I do. We don't speak about the money.
Okay,
because
we'll say it. Okay.
The church doesn't want to, but I'll say this, is in the 2 weeks that we had the machines here, it rivaled other locations nationally.
Wow.
In a 6 week.
Wow.
And so again, that's
just a small little community
in
too.
a small little community. And that's the fun. I talked to a volunteer yesterday and he's like, I've loved and everyone says this, but I've loved this. I love seeing the generosity, and it helps me think of how I can be better as I give, as I reach out, share, of what I have, and steward these things better in my life.
2 things I want to say because our time's short. We have Devin McDonald with us. He's a friend. He's been a client. He's the Chick-fil-A franchise owner here in town. Kind of fun. Employs nearly 300 people. Devin's here actually talking about service mission he's on with his wife. These are the giving machines. They're at the Red Cliffs Mall. 80% of that is our local charities, the charities that we're involved in. If you want to do that, go to Red Cliffs Mall, go to Buckle. I don't know what you want to do over there. And then go put $5 in, put $10 in. Number 2, the Basket Brigade, we're feeding 437 families on Saturday. If you wanted to participate and feed one family, didn't have a chance, visit stgeorgebasketbrigade.org.
I also put that in Facebook.
Yeah, okay, stgeorgebasketbrigade.org. Fun story, talking about these people who were served by Switchpoint or whatever, and they come back and give. We had somebody reach out to us yesterday. We have people who try to game the system on the Basket Brigade for sure, right? And we'll catch a few, and that's sad. And we try not to catch them, but you see it. We have the opposite. Somebody reaches out to us yesterday. Hey, listen, we were told that someone nominated us for the Basket Brigade. And the reason they nominated us is because we're on SNAP benefits and we couldn't get them. But we just got our benefits back. So we think you should save that food and give it to someone else.
I love it.
Dude, made me emotional. I was like, this is the good of America. Hello, look at Missy loves Devin.
She
Got a little
does.
pup in this. Guys, I know we want to talk about, these people, they all they want is charity. That is not true. Are there people who are going to scrape the bottom of the barrel from a character perspective in every group in the world, guys, from the beginning of time? But I'll tell you what, there are a lot of stories, and there are a lot of good people, and especially these kids who did not sign up for this crap that you're talking about, right? 8,000 who are functionally homeless in Washington County. Guys, visit stgeorgebasketbrigade.org, visit Red Cliffs Mall, spend some money, and then spend some money at the giving machine. You always feel better after, don't you?
We help both people on both sides of the glass.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, guys. Thank you, Devin. Thank you, Jesse. Visit us anytime at gostgeorge.com or Google the Larkin Group. Over and out.